Namaste. Welcome. Welcome, beautiful souls, to day 22. I just pulled my card of feeling for the day, and the word I have chosen is tenderness. And I think the polarity that I will go between in my reflection today is one of tenderness and one of aggression. This is such a gorgeous strength card. This is from Tarot of Echoes by Anna Torian. I was reading with it yesterday, and it's quite a special deck. I did receive my Bone Stone Reawakening, and I have to say that I'm probably not going to be using it. I was really disappointed on so many levels. So I have posted in one so far, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook in search of. I think I will attempt, if I can find one at a reasonable price, to buy back a first edition. Just too many good cards in that deck, and I would love to have that back. Not sure why I sold it in the first place. All right, so that's neither here nor there. Good morning, Mary Beth. I felt that yesterday's reading. So I did a reading from the Weaver's Oracle. I believe I read it when I was doing the solstice readings. Was a little tough, and tough in that it was about a skin mask, and this about perception and about face, and it was so literal, kind of gory actually. And I want to go on and read a little bit more from this story. This is from the Weaver's Oracle. This is the card for winter solstice, just to really understand more about what this card is about. So thank you for indulging me here, because this is kind of my own. This card is on my table, and I want to really feel it. And I know I have read these before, and it's just a lot of language to sink in. It is a valuable skill to see with different eyes, a new perspective, beyond the obvious, behind the question, from all sides of everything. Sometimes a traveling woman realizes her outlook and insight are simply not enough to achieve the broad or deep or vast or unconventional viewpoint that she requires. In this situation, she might find or borrow or craft a skin mask. Her mask will be a source of revelation and a symbol for her new eyes, though she may see the secrets of the land or ancestral trails or the power inside herself. I feel like I read that wrong. Through which, not though which, through which she may see the secrets of the land or ancestral trails or the power inside herself. Skin masks rooted in primeval traditions are the fuel of dark mythologies. Perhaps the traveling woman will come to understand the potency of this tool only when her own aging face becomes the mask through which to view her changing path. Blood on Snow, which was part of the story I read yesterday. Inside the footprint and reflected in the winter berry is the raw ingredient of life and death and human warmth. It is the crimson chain that connects generations of traveling women and the distillation of all that they pass onward or leave along their paths for those who follow them across the snow. The traveling woman does well to journey with holly hung about her person. Holly is the resolute stillness in the center of a difficult season and a constant witness to a turning year. While most other lives across the land bud and swell and ebb and die, Holly is the reliable, unyielding custodian of the midwinter story. And I don't know if you noticed, I put a large sprig of that on my table. And I I feel that there's a pulse to these stories. There's something so powerful to be understood and captured. Yes, solstice is about traditions of um, light and evergreens and hearth, all of that. And yet these tales are so powerful and deep, and this is not a book I turn to often enough, and I should really go back and do another sort of mini study of one of the clans. So thank you for that. Just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the Weaver's Oracle by Karen Hillier. There is one group of cards, group of 8 life clan, and there is a painting for each of the Sabbats. All right, so this morning I thought that I would talk a little bit about some things you can do with the Tarot de Marseille. And this is also really good for some of this advice is working with pip decks. So in the Tarot de Marseille, the minor arcana are represented in very specific ways. The swords always bow like this, and there is in the odd cards a sword going straight through the middle, and there's a flower usually in the even cards. Okay, so of course you can read something into that. The cups are arranged usually in the same configuration in every deck. So depending on the year, the country that the deck was created, but generally, so there's a fixed pattern in Tarot de Marseille. So you can start to learn these patterns of the minors. But my tarot tip here is, yes, you can learn that, and yes, you can study that. But I want you to just look at the configuration of the minors and let your imagination kind of go wild, blur your focus. When you see these shapes, what arises off the page? I think the challenge for a lot of people in learning to read pip cards, whether it is straight up Tarot de Marseille or it is a Waite Smith inspired deck that is chosen to make the minors more pippish, which means that there are fewer humans and more objects to look at. Look at the configuration. What do you see here with these coins stacked 2 by 2? Can you read anything into the reflection of the 4 plus 4? In reading pip cards, we have a lot of freedom to allow a shape to come alive. And perhaps I'll do this with a non-Marseille deck tomorrow, and I'll show you sort of the same thing. There is movement in these cards. There is changing floral activity. Now, some Tarot de Marseille have more floral in the cards. These are the wands. The wands are always straight sticks and arranged again in the same kind of configuration. And how does it feel to have these 2 floral embellishments kind of protect the center energy of the wand, where perhaps one could hold on to the blue bit in the center? Instead of being intimidated by pip cards, can you hold the wands? Can you allow the nuances of the combination of the floral and the element itself to move a little bit? And what you might want to do is to take a Marseille deck, or a deck such as, I don't know, I was going to say Homeward Bound. That's not the deck. There are so many. I mean, even like the Wild Unknown. What do I have over here? That is a Pip deck. The UC deck that's sitting on top there, Pagan Otherworlds. There are a lot of Waite-Smith inspired decks that have Pip style minors. And this is, it's a process, but it's just really something kind of important to do. And you can do this in a very reflective kind of way. And I would suggest, you can also take all of the sixes and look at how different the six is in cups versus wands versus swords versus pentacles and discs. I feel like there is so much information in these configurations. Is it crowded? Is it not crowded? Is there space to breathe? What happens when something is turned in a different direction? So play with this. It's really an important part of integrating all that you've learned. And in this way, you're not sort of forcing numerological memorization. You're not forcing associations of, I don't know, some other discipline that you have learned in studying numbers and so forth. You're not then required to go, okay, this is a baton, it is wands, it's a 5 of wands. Well, does this look as confrontational as a 5 of wands in the Waite-Smith? What do you see here? It's only a 5. There's still lots of white space. And yes, in the odd numbers, there's always one that's standing in the middle. And in the even numbers, there is usually more floral. So, yeah, this deck I'm showing you here, by the way, is the Tarot of Revisated. And I wouldn't have no idea how to say that in French. Revisated, Saltes, by Ben Gross. It is based on the tarot of Jean-Pierre Payen, 18th century. So I'm going to read with this today and do a reflection. These are lovely large cards. So let's focus on details. And I think also, too, of certain book titles where, we find the joy in the little things. It's in the details that we learn something about the bigger picture. It's like the little nuances take on a life of their own. So what is it about paying attention to these subtleties that is connected and important to our processing of all these engagements that we come to in this season and just everything that's going on right now? How can it help us? As always, I ask this message be in the highest for the greatest good. Let no harm be done. So be it. Very large deck. I don't know that I've ever attempted to riffle shuffle this one. let's just cut. The faces in this deck, the Payen, Tarot de Marseille of Jean-Pierre Payen, are quite stern. The Imperatrice is most definitely paying attention. It's kind of beautiful in a way. I feel like there's love that comes from all directions and in unexpected ways. That relationship among, and I feel like saying something like those who collide. And this could be just bumping into somebody in a busy store. This could be running into somebody metaphorically at some random location. I feel like here there is, I'm really touched by the face of the Imperatrice. Like she's lonely. She's alone. She has a lot of responsibility. She carries this weight of this majestic weight of looking after so much. And this Chevalier d'Épée, the Knight of Swords, returns. The Knight of Swords knows that she cares, and he's here to protect her and look after her. This reminds me of a surprise visit from a loved one or family member who unexpectedly arrives, and it does something to nourish relationship. So my question was, what is this about details and paying attention? And I wonder if there's something that each of us could do unexpectedly in a small way to nourish a relationship for, sometimes when we think of a figure such as the Imperatrice, we assume, they've got money, they've got everything, they've got it all together, they don't really need help or support. But, au contraire, this kind of person needs to know that they are loved. And, go for a visit, go home, do something unexpected. This also, hello, Nix 13. Yeah, I mean, of course, that's quite a possibility as well, too. And yet there's something here that makes me feel like this, there's numerous possibilities here. Staying with the season and feeling, I wonder too, I'm just thinking about what you said, in that relationship is also about relationship with myself. Relationship with myself. How can I nourish my relationship with myself? This is also about filling my own cup so that I feel well. And this makes me think about giving myself permission to pour my favorite drink, pick up a book, and do nothing other than enjoy my beverage and read my book. Feeding my intellect, lingering over the beautiful language in that book. I love that as well. What can you do for yourself to nourish your relationship with yourself? In extension, if you want to look at planetary or tree of life associations, there can be a lot of heart in all of the nights, all searching and looking for the deepest of connections. All the pathways cross through the center of the tree of life. All of the pathways cross through the heart chakra. And the home of the nights is in Tiferet, in the heart. And they sometimes pass through there quite quickly, I find. And I don't know, I'm just seeing there's just so many ways you could take this apart. So find a connection here that you could work with on this day. And then also kind of reflect on how can you integrate the little things that appear that cross your path today. So you probably can't even see because of the light. I have received my first Christmas gift. My son was here for a visit, and I am wrapped in a yak wool scarf. It's more like a shawl, and just feeling it's from Nepal, and he just returned from Nepal and shared all of his stories, and we just had an amazing time together, very relaxed, and so happy that this season is underway. I want to send you all lots of love, and I will see you tomorrow for day 23. Namaste.